Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures and providing the world economy additional time.
Here we go again.
To transition from fossil fuels. This process is also relatively inexpensive. The National Research Council estimates that a fully deployed SAI program would cost about $10 billion yearly. As promising as it may be, moving forward on SAI would also raise a number of challenges for our government and for the international community. On the technical side, greenhouse gas emission reductions would still have to accompany SAI to address other climate change effects, such as ocean acidification, because SAI alone would not remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. On the geopolitical side, the technology's potential to alter weather patterns and benefit certain regions of the world at the expense of other regions could trigger sharp opposition by some nations. Others might seize on SAI's benefits and back away from their commitment to carbon dioxide reductions. And as with other breakthrough technologies, global norms and standards are lacking to guide the deployment and implementation of SAI and other geoengineering.
Weather modification, or cloud seeding.
We can't create the cloud. It has to be an existing storm system.
We just give it a bump.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's doing good this evening. I just wanted to present a few things. Is anyone talking about weather modification anymore and climate change? Well, I'll cover a little bit tonight. As I continue to do my research, I hope to get a little better at this. But anyway, I was going to cover a few quick stories. The Pentagon, they claim they have a nuclear bomb, 24 times more powerful than the prior bombs. That means the bombs in Hiroshima, back in Nagasaki and Japan, 24 more times powerful. That is really powerful. They're currently seeking congressional approval and funding for the nuclear gravity bomb. 24 more times powerful than the ones dropped in Japan. Just thought I'd let y'all know that. So, yeah, I'm sure that will have a change on the climate. I'm kind of late in covering, anything like this. When it comes to the hurricane in Mexico, I'm going to look at this a little bit. I may start doing this every night. I don't know, but look at the frequencies. There's kind of some weather. What always gets to me when you see weather and clouds, the weather moving is consumed with frequencies. The frequencies is just taken over in the weather. I mean, this is weather modification also along with the chemtrails. Weather modification consists of many elements. Chemtrails, these frequencies, many things. HAARP, 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 if you're not familiar with it. It's these powerful array of antennas, and they put out many kilowatts. I may cover that another night, but all these frequencies here, as I'm showing on this map, this affects our weather modification, however you want to put it. So thank y'all for coming in. Good to see everybody. Natural born rebel, them cocksuckers did it. Thank y'all for being here. Really, the hurricane damage in Acapulco, Mexico. I mean, it's off the charts. It's like they're claiming it's like a Maui, but with water. Is anybody's eyes open to that? I see it the same way as prime property in Mexico, Acapulco. It did a heck of a lot of damage. And I have to get more familiar with doing this if I'm going to start doing this. There's no one out there can take Mike Morales' place. But I look all around and I see nobody is talking about weather modification. Nobody. The hurricane damage in Acapulco, Mexico, I mean, it really is off the charts. Let me enlarge this a little bit. Like I say, this is prime property. We may see a Trump Tower there in 5 or 10 years. I mean, there is so much damage. This storm was a Category 1 hurricane, and within hours, it was a Category 5. Reached gusted winds of 265 miles per hour, the first ever heard of such in a storm. The most powerful storm in the world, they claim. I'm telling y'all, I don't know how many lives has been lost in the storm, but there is a whole heck of a lot of damage. Let me check the chat a little bit, y'all. I hope you can hear me. The earthquakes are going off. Today we had an earthquake like a 5.4 in Jamaica on the land. It was not at sea. It was on the land. But getting back to Mexico, I mean, it's billions of dollars. All this damage is really destroyed. I mean, this place is destroyed. Like I say, I don't know how many lives are lost. I need to do more research. I got to catch up. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to give it my best and try to do this every night around the same time, 9 p.m. So I hope to see everyone. If you're not up to par with what's going on with weather, maybe I can help catch us all up, because the weather is very important. They want to own the weather by the year 2025. I think they're doing a dang good job of it right now. They own the weather already. So I can show you a document that would tell you just what I'm telling you. But anyway, yeah, this is Acapulco, Mexico. And this is really a resort vacation place. A lot of people I know have gone to this place and visit and vacation there. In case, I don't know if you know anyone that has. But yeah, I just wanted to show a few pictures of it and talk about what people are saying about it, Unimaginable strong winds. Over 200-mile-per-hour winds, y'all. 265-mile-per-hour gusts. The tourist shows his 21st floor room at the Solar Ocean Hotel. 80% of the hotels there are impacted. I mean, the sides of these motels and hotels is just completely ripped off. And I mean, it's just unimaginable of the damage that's there. Still not convinced that the Hurricane Otis was non-natural occurrence, changing from tropical storm to hurricane in only a few hours. It was indeed a military experiment via HARP. It would take HARP, weather modification, to change a hurricane and make it within hours. I remember years back in Florida, I've said this on my live streams, Little Mexico City was being approached by a Hurricane 1 category. When it went in like 35 miles inland and destroyed like a bomb, hit the place. How does a hurricane, after it hits the land, even strengthen like that? I mean, it's unimaginable. It's man at work. In case a lot of people don't know about weather modification, man is changing the weather and uses tools and techniques to steer these hurricanes, uses radar. They drop things, bomblets and things inside of hurricanes from them planes. They say these planes, they'll tell you they're going in to measure the winds and all that, but they drop things, chemicals and little bomblets, and it helps the hurricanes strengthen. I've done a little research. I know when I say something like that, I know what I'm talking about. I thank y'all for coming in. I really do, y'all. Thank you. I want to get relaxed about this and be able to cover, a lot of the weather, because nobody's really talking about weather modification anymore. I know of one channel out there, only one. In the aftermath of Hurricane Otis in Mexico, a 4-month-old baby was in dire need of food. They're changing the weather worldwide. The floods that happen in India and Pakistan, the floods that happen, those even in the desert, it's man-made manipulation to the weather, y'all. But anyway, let me keep going. I have a little presentation tonight. I just want to talk about it and expose myself and, the information and warm myself up to doing this because I'm not really good at it, y'all. Leslie Bosler, good evening. Geneva Cordoba, nanobots. Yeah, they use nanobots. The technology these days, y'all. I mean, there's stuff out there we don't even know about. And I was going to do a little more research about David Keith and come up and, play some videos about him one night and him and Bill Gates and how they talk about, how they want the stratosphere layered, to be able to block out the sun. All this is in concordance of weather modification. So, yeah, in the middle of the screen, you'll see this was a pretty small hurricane. And it was approaching Acapulco. So, yeah, let me go ahead and put it into the future a little bit. As it hit, it didn't look like much. I wish I had that other thing. I might do. I don't know. To show y'all the intensity when it went in. Right there, it just looked like it disappeared. But as this was happening, they was using HARP to strengthen this storm. And so, yeah, there's something going on even in the Pacific. So I'm going to be all over the place quite a bit until I end the live stream. There is something going over here in the Pacific going on. So, I'm not good at this yet. So y'all give me time, give me a week. If I can hang in there, if I can keep finding information, yeah. So, and this map here, this will show you even particulates all over. And this hurricane here, over here in the Atlantic Ocean, supposedly it will go out to sea, but who knows? I saw one chart said it may even hit North Carolina. So that could be a week away from now. I don't know. I really don't know about this. So I'm just going to talk about it. I'm going to warm myself up to it and hope everybody, if you have information, you can send to me. I welcome all information. Good to have you, John P. Adventures. So I'd be glad to put your information out there. And I want to dig up this little video that I have coming off the Sahara Desert, showing y'all. I probably have shown it before too. How they spray, another Bill Gates idea, spraying dust into the stratosphere. And I keep putting that up there. I got to take that. Yeah. Let me put my email out there. I keep putting. I don't know why I keep putting it like that. But thank y'all for coming. Let me get myself warmed up to all this and get to where I'm relaxed to be able to talk about the weather, because nobody's really talking about it anymore. Particulates. I used to kind of show, how the United States wasn't putting out particulates. We don't have factories and, modern equipment hardly running anymore. This even would show the jet stream if I know exactly how to get to it. Yeah, but you can see the particulates, how the factories and everything is running over here in China, right along in here. The particulates. I mean, what's going on over there? They don't even care about the environment. The carbon, whatever, the pollution, the chemicals, whatever you want to call it. I mean, they just run rampant. They don't care about the environment. Why does the United States care so much about it and put so much money out there when it comes to the environment in India, China, Russia? A lot of these countries don't even care, about the factories and the pollution they're putting out there. So I wanted to show y'all that. I mean, there's no comparison anymore. America does not even put out the pollution that a lot of these other countries are putting out. So yeah, when it comes to the climate, let me take that one down. Chemtrails everywhere, all over this. If you can't, I mean, this storm, when it was approaching Acapulco, there are chemtrails everywhere. Look at this picture. I just enlarged it. Chemtrails everywhere, surrounding all around this storm. They use, nanobots, particulates, chemicals, aerosol spray, aluminum, barium, strontium, copper. There's a list of things I got to find. So yeah, I got a lot of research to do. And as I present and go on through the week and hopefully every night, as the weather changes, if there's rain in your area, maybe we'll find it and be able to show it. Storms approaching because these radars and these chemtrails are they cause tornadoes. They cause these hurricanes to get stronger. All this stuff, everything, droughts. That's why there's droughts, because they're stealing the rain from Africa, and wherever they want to put it. There's a certain amount of water on the earth, y'all. I mean, you call it 100 million gazillion gallons. I don't know how many. None of us do know. But yeah, they can make it rain in one area and not rain in another area. So yeah, look at the chemtrails. It's just all around this hurricane in Acapulco as it was approaching. I'm not trying to go too fast. I just want to get, the words out that I'm able to. But anyway, y'all, let me play this. As you can see, it just blowed up. I mean, it blowed up. It just, these chemtrails was just, they laid them out there. I mean, and this thing just blowed up. People's accusing HARP. Yeah, they can use HARP. They have all these equipment, even in what am I trying to say? Down there in the South, not Australia, but yeah, down in the South Pole. They have this earthquake machine. They have a HARP in South America. They have one over there in Australia, Alaska. They're using, and I could go back and show y'all all that stuff later on, another night. So, yeah, they use these chemtrails. If you don't know what chemtrails are, look up in the sky in the daytime. I need to run more video and show people what chemtrails are. Yeah, and talk about Bill Gates and David Keith, whoever's trying to change and manipulate the weather, y'all. So yeah, that. Let me show you this right here. I'm gonna play this. Hurricane Otis is not natural occurrence. It is a product of HARP. So they're saying right here. Look how this thing had just blown up. I mean, the weather like that, if it hit like that in South Carolina, I don't know what I'd do at 265 mile per hour gusts. You couldn't dig a hole and stay in it, and not be flooded out. So, yeah, how would you even escape such a storm? Hello, Michael Joshua Lewis. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you. Good to see everyone. Misty World, how are you? Nobody's talking about the weather modification anymore. So somebody's got to do it, y'all. Somebody's got to start talking about it and staying up with it. Keep up with it and see, because these things are happening every day. Whether if it's floods, hurricanes, whatever it might be, scorching earth, fires in Canada, all that has everything to do with weather modification. Over in the UK, they was talking about rain for days and days and days, that it wouldn't let up. Yeah, we need to do more research and find information. Find the chemtrails in the sky on radar, what they're doing, and the people that's in charge of doing this. It's costing lives. It's costing billions of dollars of real estate. Acapulco is another Maui in my book. Okay, I mean, you may not agree. It is, to me, another Maui. It's prime real estate that they're going after, and they're going to try to run everybody off of it eventually. And who knows? There might be a Trump Tower there in 5 or 10 years. Look, it seems obvious to me anyway. So yeah, if you don't know what chemtrails are, this is the way I'm starting. Listen, Lars, we'll show you what chemtrails are. And this stuff, it layers the sky. They're trying to fill the stratosphere with this. They want it so-called to block out the sun. We need the sun. The plants, the animals, human beings, we all need the sunlight. And if the ozone layer is being destroyed, they're the ones destroying it with whatever they're putting in the stratosphere. So they can keep complaining and act like it's us, and they want to raise your taxes and whatever they want to do, carbon this and carbon that. Carbon is life. We consist of carbon in our bodies. Carbon holds us together, keeps you from breaking apart and all that. Carbon works in the atmosphere. It works in plant life. It works in human life. And they want to suck carbon out of the atmosphere. Really? They'll be sucking life out of the atmosphere and oxygen. I know a little bit about all this stuff, but I'm no expert. As I can do my research and keep talking about it, we learn more about it as we go along. Yeah, this is more Acapulco coverage. I may not even be saying that right, but it's definitely in Mexico. Look at this. This is true damage. These buildings are ripped apart, gutted, windows all the way up into the furniture and everything, gutted, billions of dollars. This is done on purpose, y'all. This really is. This is done on purpose. I'd say F them too, Natural Born Rebel, but you got to stop them. How do you stop them? How do we stop them from doing all this? I don't think we can. This is part of the New World Order. Everything that's happening, it's all connected. Whether if it's the pokey dokey or wartime, rumors of war, whatever you want to call it, all this is to happen, together and work out for their benefit, not for ours. And they're using the weather, weather warfares. This is like a war, y'all, because you can't stop them. Can you? I mean, really? When it comes to hometown, I mean, are you finally then going to stand up and say something? Like, where's everybody standing up for Maui? I mean, it's common sense. Still 2,000 children missing. When they come for you, who's going to stand up for you? If I don't stand up for you, but when they come for me, are you going to stand up for me? It all works hand in hand. We all have to shout out to the rooftops together if there's ever going to really be a change. Yeah, this is more chemtrails. So when it comes to weather modification, that's about, y'all, is all these, however they're changing the weather. It wasn't a very long video, but it kept playing music. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that messes me up. Deadliest hurricane in history. It says it right there. I mean, Mexico, from a tropical storm to a category 5 within 12 hours. Let's see what this man got to say. I'll play his voice. I don't care. It's just weather modification. Let me see what he's going to say. I don't think he's saying that, but let's see what he's got to say.
This is absurd in the tropics. This is Otis, and this storm is going to be bad for Acapulco. As we work into tomorrow, you see how the eye has gotten really well defined. This is going to be a Cat 5, very close to Acapulco. And the thing that's so impressive about this storm is that this morning at 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock even, it was a tropical storm, 70-mile-per-hour winds. Over the last 12 hours, it's gone from a tropical storm to a Category 5, 160-mile-per-hour hurricane. It's going to be bad news for Acapulco tomorrow, a very dire situation there. So that was not expected to see that much rapid intensification. Just wanted to share that.
All right, that's that. Yeah. Rapid. I mean, rapid strengthening. How did that even happen? It takes a HARP to do that. So, yeah, that's pretty much it on that. Let's see what else I got here. Making the case for climate action. The impacts of climate change on public health and our economy due to the temperature. You know, this past summer, they kept saying it was record hot months. June, July, and August was the hottest on record. I don't even know if I believe that. But, yeah, according to them, the ones keeping the temperature. But this is about the reason why they think they have to do all this for climate change. In the remainder of my statement, I will make the following points. To measure the impact of climate-driven temperature changes on mortality risk, we divided the world into more than 24,000 regions that are each about the size of a U.S. country. We found that the global mortality risk is projected to increase by 85 degrees per 100,000 people. They come up with all these reasons why they think. Look, I'm going to just save this and maybe go through it. This research is the basis for the new social cost of carbon estimates showing that the Trump and Obama administrations have underestimated the full social cost of carbon. So, yeah, underestimated. So they're just going to go on and just explode with the climate and do whatever damage they want to do. As I'm going to show you right here, this will be my last portion that I'm going to show you because I'm no expert. I want to get better as I do this. This is it. Weather as a force multiplier. Owning the weather in 2025. I have the full documents. Maybe one night I'll sit here and I'll read it. I don't know. Maybe chapter by chapter. But I remember scrolling way down and it's showing graphs and pictures. You know, how would they use how they modify the climate? I may go into it a different night. Why would we want to mess with the weather? What do we mean by weather modification? The Global Weather Network. See, they have a network of changing, manipulating, modifying the weather. It's a global network now, different countries working together. China has their own, weather modification. So applying weather modification in military operations. You can go back to the war, what is it? I need these points written down, y'all. Little country, y'all. What is it? Popeye? Yeah. They cause it to rain just in a war, you know, and weaken the enemy down like that. You know, it's crazy, y'all. This has been going on a long time. I'll get better, y'all. I got to write this stuff down. Precipitation and fog. You know, they have different methods of causing fog. Different patterns we can talk about later on and stuff. How to, you know, fog and steam machines and evaporations all up into the atmosphere. Man-made stuff. There's pictures, there's videos out there. We'll find it in time, you know, how they make storms and exploration of near space, of space control, and opportunities afforded by the space weather modification, communications dominance, concept of operations, just on and on. This right here explains everything about the global weather network and modification. It just goes on and on. And then they have a disclaimer, you know. Yeah, they have a little disclaimer in here saying, this is not what we really intend to do, but it is. You know, they have to do that so people don't take it so serious, you know, like me. They can degrade enemy forces, you know, even for wartime. Enhance friendly forces, degrade enemy forces. There was one little paragraph in here. Let me see if this is it. The weather modification capabilities described in this paper are consistent with the operating environments and missions relevant for aerospace forces in 2025, as defined by the Air Force, long-range planning. Long-range planning. This even explains how they're going to use this past 2025. Yes, up until 2020. This paper was written. Let me go back. I'll show you. This is when it's really, you know, it says August of 1996. This has been going on a long time. They wanted to work their way up to own the weather in 2025. That way they know 100%. They know everything they're doing. They know when to do it. They know how to do it. They know how much to add, how much to take away. By 2025, they will know 100% of every little thing that they're doing and what they're causing, how to make a hurricane 200 miles per hour, whatever the case may be, how to flood out the enemy, whatever. When it comes to weather, they will own the weather by 2025. It's in this document. But that's pretty much it, y'all. I hate to be so fast about it. I just want to get myself warmed up to all this, be able to talk about it, you know. I appreciate it. I'll call everybody out. Thank you. Natural Born Rebel, thank you. They flooded Vietnam, right? That's what I was trying to talk about. Operation Popeye, man. We have had about 5 floods in 2 years in Sydney. I was even seeing about the Australian fires. That's affecting the weather, y'all. There was a lot of fires, probably still are. I don't know. There's so much information, so many happenings in the world. It's hard to know and keep up with it all. They know what they're doing. They, in cooperation with Canada to burn the fires, in cooperation with Australia government to burn the fires. It's all part of the New World Order, climate change. How they going to bring about a climate crisis so they can go ahead, you know, problem, reaction, solution. They create the problem, they have the solution to it. God gave us eyes to see and ears to hear. Use discernment and remember your opinion is valid. Well, thank you, Geneva Cordoba, because I hope my opinion is valid, because the information I hope to present and put out there from here on out about climate modification and, weather changing, maybe we'll find them ship tracks out into the Pacific Ocean. It takes hours of research and flipping and clicking. There's even some food recalls, y'all. I hope you're not eating food recall. It'll make you sick. The food has been affected, y'all. I found videos how people's washing the fruits and vegetables. You can't imagine. The lady uses some vinegar, baking soda, and water. And the dirt and the bacteria, that stuff gets off of your fruits and vegetables. Hopefully we can put a little tips like that out there every now and then, And because we do, when it comes to your grapes and your strawberries and your apples and your squash and your cucumbers and your tomatoes, wash them, because they're being sprayed, They really are, y'all. So y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you all. Hope to see y'all maybe tomorrow night. 99% chance I'll be here talking about weather modification and digging a little deeper every night. I may not go spread across the board like I did tonight. Maybe focus on a different subject every night or two or whatever. We'll see how it gets me, how far I go, y'all. Y'all have a great night. RV, keep it rolling, man. Hey, keep it rolling. For real, y'all. Flat Infinite Plane, how are you doing? And Leslie Bosler. Yep, they control the weather all right, Liz Ireland. They sure do. They control the weather. And that's why they're going to raise our taxes. That's why they want you to buy an electric car. That's why they're doing all this crappity crap that they're doing. It's the New World Order, y'all. Welcome into the New World Order, for real. Because it's going to get worse and worse. I've been wondering on the East Coast, when it comes to prime property, what are they going to do? Are they going to pull a Maui? The mountains are full of forest up in the Appalachian Mountains. I'd hate to see all that, y'all. But I know something like that could be coming. One place at a time, Thank y'all for being here, Will. Thank you. Geneva Cordoba, thank y'all. Suspicious Skies, thank you. Sunny Florida. I wonder about Florida and Miami. That's prime property. There's somebody talking about climate change in Florida, how it would have been flooded out by now down in Miami if the seas were really rising. I could go back to Plymouth Rock and show y'all that Plymouth Rock is not flooded over. It's in the same place it was, for 100 years now, I believe. I may be a little bit off on that. Hello, John Boy. Good to have you, my friend, and thank y'all. What did you figure out about that Martian rock, man? Thank y'all for coming in. I don't want to just talk on screen tonight. I presented what I wanted to present. Maybe y'all saw some of the damage in Acapulco, Mexico. Yeah. So I hope to see y'all again tomorrow night, and God bless everyone. For real, y'all. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm not that good at this. Pray for me. I'll get better, So So thank you very much and have a wonderful night.